What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. We're going to get into AEW Dynamite from February the 12th, 2025. An okay show for the most part, but it could have been better. But this show felt like Collision mixed in with Rampage, if Rampage was still around. That's really what it felt like. So we kicked the show off with Max Caster. He shows up. He says that he's the best wrestler alive. He throws out an open challenge. It's answered by Hangman Page. So Max Caster runs away. Hangman beats up Max Caster. He hits the buckshot lariat for the 1, 2, 3. All right, that's fine there. It was a squash match. We had a couple of squash matches on this show. So that's not too bad there. Moving on. We get a video package showing what took place last week between Swerve and Ricochet. So basically, Swerve said he's not through with Ricochet yet. Prince Nana wants Swerve to focus on getting back the world title and being a top guy once again. And Swerve's like, nah, you heard what you know what happened last time with Hangman Adam Page. I'm not going to let Ricochet slip through my hands. So that was pretty cool. Interesting stuff there. Moving on. So this leads us into our first match of the night. The Death Riders. Oh, boy. Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. They defeated the Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. My God, how the mighty have fallen. Holy hell. Don't we all remember when Adam Cole was a top guy in AEW or being built as a semi-top guy, and now he's just in some boring little mid-card feud? Like, ugh. I feel bad for Adam Cole. I really do. I was thinking that they were going to maybe switch the belts, but it didn't happen. Again, this was a tape show, so there's that. And Wheeler Yuta got a win, and I wanted to set my television on fire. So post-match, the Death Riders, they continue the beatdown. So Daniel Garcia comes out and makes the save, and then they chase out the Trios champs. All right, who gives a shit about this? This screams Collision. This totally screams Collision. Moving on. So Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley, they're backstage. So Edge hits Moxley from behind with a steel chair, takes him out. They throw him into a room, shut the door. They have bolt cutters. They lock the door. They get the briefcase that contains the coveted AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And Mox and Marina Shafir are able to get out of the room, and they're looking for Edge and Jay White. This is fine here, but do I care about the Death Riders? No. This storyline is the absolute drizzling shits, man. I cannot stand the Death Rider storyline. I can't stand it. I know I'm not the only one. I think the Death Rider story is universally hated. This is something that everybody in the IWC and YWC can get behind. Like, this shit is universally hated. Stop. This stuff cannot last until All in July. This shit can't go on for another 5 months. There's no way. You got to pull the plug on this. You got to, Tony. Pull the plug on this shit. Moving on. So, Renee Paquette is backstage with MJF. He talks about his match with Dustin Rhodes. He says Texas is not a real state. And Dustin's not a real man. So Hangman, he shows up, and then MJF asks him if he has a crush on him, and if Jack Daniels makes a good cologne. Then MJF tells Hangman that he's a joke, and the fans actually believe in him. MJF says tonight he's going to beat Dustin Rhodes and do what Hangman has failed to do, and that is become a 2-time AEW World Champion. Okay, I like this. Hangman Page is okay. I like him. He's serviceable at times. Mid-card guy at best, if we're being honest. But this is okay. Moving on. So, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Tatsuya Shibata, they defeat some jobbers. Not that important. Post-match, Joe puts himself over along with Hook and Shibata, who are his brothers. Joe says this is about 3 men who have a misunderstanding, and the only answer is violence. Joe says, what stands before you, 3 men who always have a problem and want to beat everyone to solve it. He says, they're the ops. And then Joe says, they're going to beat the shit out of the patriarchy. And he calls Christian Cage a chicken ass. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Do I care? No, not really. This is mid-card stuff as well. I feel bad for Samoa Joe, too. Samoa Joe is another guy that could be in the world title picture. Moving on. So, Renee Paquette is backstage talking to Chris Jericho and Brian Keefe about the bounty he put on Bandito, but Brian Keefe couldn't get rid of Bandito. Jericho says he didn't yell at Brian Keefe and that this is a learning moment, and Jericho then challenges Bandito to a showdown in the ring. And then Brian Keefe tells Renee to never embarrass him in front of Chris Jericho again. Okay, that was kind of funny. Moving on. So, Willow Nightingale is beaten up by Marina Shafir. So she beats the shit out of Willow. And then Moxley says that Edge is a dead man walking out. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So then we get a duel between Chris Jericho and Bandito. They stand face to face in the middle of the ring. The lights are dimmed. They take their hats off, and then they both walk six paces, which is kind of cool. They're about to fight, but Brian Keefe gets involved. He grabs the legs of Bandito. Pause. So the Outrunners, they come in and make the save briefly. W. Morrissey shows up. He beats up. He's about to beat up the Outrunners, but then Powerhouse Hobbs comes out, and both Powerhouse Hobbs and Bandito, they chase off W. Morrissey. Well, actually, no. W. Morrissey eats a nasty spine buster by Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay, this is fine. Do I care about this? No, not really. Moving on. So, Edge and Jay White, they're backstage. They're holding the briefcase to talk about their match at Grand Slam. Jay White asks Mox if he's missing something. Edge says that he's held a briefcase before a few times in his career. Edge says that if Mox wants the briefcase back, he can just meet them in the ring at the end of the night. Okay, Edge, we get it. We know that you were Money in the Bank winner a couple times. We get the joke. All right. Moving on. So this leads us into MJF versus Dustin Rhodes. MJF defeats Dustin Rhodes. He wins via the crossface. Dustin doesn't tap out. This match goes about a good 10 minutes, which is great. Dustin did pretty well, and he can still go. He's still a good guy. He's still okay. He's still serviceable, and he still sort of kind of has it. Post match, MJF continues to beat up Dustin Rhodes, but Hangman comes out to make the save. Then the two of them have a small little brawl, and security, they separate both MJF and Hangman Adam Page, and then MJF gets on the mic, and he says that Hangman sucks and he's a gutless coward, and he's a loser like all the fans. And then Hangman shows back up, and the two of them, they brawl again, and then officials pull them apart, and they're going to have a face-to-face next week. Okay, should be interesting. More than likely, this is probably going to kickstart their feud. It's probably going to start at Revolution. Probably will continue around Double or Nothing and maybe end at All Out in July. So that's pretty cool right there. That's interesting. So that should be interesting. Maybe you have MJF win match 1, Hangman wins match 2, and then Hangman puts over MJF match 3 maybe. Don't know, but that's kind of what should happen. I don't know. Moving on. So this leads us into Megan Bayne. She beats a jobber by the name of Maya. Can't remember her last name. I forgot what it was. But some Maya chick. I'm pretty sure she's done some stuff in... I think she works in reality wrestling, so she's with Booker T's school. That's pretty cool. So Megan Bayne gets the win via the F5. Okay, my bad. Her name is Maya World. So she's done some stuff with Booker T. I'm pretty sure she's one of his students. That's pretty cool. Interesting stuff there. Nice. So Megan Bayne gets the win via the F5. So she's doing the same move that Zarya does on NXT, which is fine. But my girl Megan Bayne, she doesn't have any really good, how can I put this? She doesn't have any good facial expressions. She's like stone. It's like she's turned to stone, and she doesn't she don't care about nothing. It's like she's just there to be there. Like, that's the type of vibes that I get with her. I mean, she's a good worker. She's a good wrestler. I love her. Really good stuff. Attractive and everything. So apparently, Megan Bayne is the House of Glory champion. The school, the wrestling promotion that's ran by Amazing Red. And it's hard to believe that Master P actually owns that school. Owns that promotion, which is pretty cool. So I never knew that he was into wrestling like that. Didn't think he was into wrestling like that. Interesting. But anyway, it seems like they're going to have Megan Bayne versus Mercedes at one of their big events. So that should be cool. They'll probably end up having Mercedes go over on Megan Bayne. And Mercedes will have 5 titles. So that's what they might do. But it's not going to matter even if Mercedes wins. It's not going to be that important. Again, Mercedes' character work is not over like that, in my opinion. That's just me. Good in-ring worker. She has a shitty-ass attitude as of late. Moving on, so Chris Statlander, she showed up. Her and Megan Bayne had a brief stare down, and I was like, oh, let's go. Let's fucking go. I want to see these two lionesses mix it up. Let's get it. So Chris Statlander, she defeats Penelope Ford in a match that took way too long, in my opinion. This match should have been over with in about 2 to 3 minutes. It was not. It went on close to 10 minutes. It actually went to a commercial break, which is not good. But anyway, Chris Statlander gets the win via the Saturday Night Fever. And then post-match, Megan Bayne shows up, and she F5s Chris Statlander. So they're probably going to do a feud or start a feud at Revolution. This is interesting. I'm down for it. As long as it's built up properly, we've got about a good 2.5 to 3 weeks left until Revolution. So I would imagine they'll probably give Megan Bayne a few more wins under her belt, maybe a couple wins on Collision, and maybe a win or two on Dynamite before Revolution. So this is interesting. I'm down for it as long as it's a feud and not a one and done type of thing. Because Megan Bayne's the future, and it's the same with Chris Statlander. But I think that Statlander, I would love to see her in WWE. I really would. I think she would kick major ass in WWE. Moving on. So let's lead us into the main event of the evening. The Hurt Business, no, my bad, I'm sorry. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they defeat the Guns, Colton and Austin. So they win via the spear. Bobby Lashley hits on Ashley's spear. And I believe it was Austin who took the pin. That's fine there. I like this. Good stuff. Excellent stuff. Then what I didn't like, you had, I wanted to burn my television to the ground again. Fucking Lance Archer and Brian Cage, they show up and they clap and they want, I guess, a future shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And I'm just like, what the hell? Both these guys are jobbers. Like, enough. No one cares about this shit. Moving on, the closing segment of the evening. So, Edge, he comes out. He threatens to open up the briefcase with Spike, a.k.a. Janice, that Abyss used to use in TNA. That's really basically what it is. So, Edge basically says that if Mox doesn't come out and accept his challenge for the title at Revolution, he's going to smash the briefcase. So Mox then shows up. Then he says that Edge has no idea what he's doing. Mox says that Edge, none of the people know anything about the title. Mox says he's the protector and shepherd of the title. Mox says he'll show Edge how much he cares at Revolution. He'll break his neck. And so Edge then gets the spike and he hits the briefcase a couple of times, and then the Death Riders, they hit the ring. They have a brawl. Mox is able to get the briefcase back with the help of Marina Shafir. And the Death Riders, they skedaddle. Jay White gets on the mic and says that at Grand Slam Australia, they're going to send the Death Riders into the ground, and that was the end of the show. This was okay, I guess, but it could have been better. I am interested in the MJF, Hangman Adam Page feud. That should be interesting. A lot of history there, so I do like that. Everything else on the show was straight Collision, Rampage fodder. That's all that was. The main event was fine. You know, I've always been a fan of the Hurt Syndicate / Hurt Business, so that's fine there. I'm loving what they're doing with Megan Bayne. That should be interesting. Oh, I forgot to mention the Harley Cameron stuff. Oh, my goodness. I apologize on that one, guys. That'll be the last thing we talk about. So, Harley Cameron, she actually ended up doing a rap over the CEO chants that Mercedes, over Mercedes' theme song. She did a fast rap, which is really good. She's a very talented female, really good. So she basically did a video package, and she used the Mercedes Moné puppet. She talked about how it took her forever to learn, Chinese, and how she got good at singing and playing guitar and everything else. And she put over Mercedes and stuff. So this is really good stuff. She talks about how she's going to win the TBS Championship in her home country of Australia. I love this. This was tremendous stuff. Harley Cameron is great. She's really, really good. And I'm digging this little mini feud between her and Mercedes. I actually do like this. I think Mercedes is actually trying. She's used to stuff like this because she used to do this stuff in WWE. So she's used to this stuff. So I do like that. But come Saturday, Harley Cameron has to win. She has to win. Forgot to mention that Mariah May was on the show as well. She said that she's going to basically, quote-unquote, murder Toni Storm. So that's what she's going to do to her. Okay, not going to happen. Hopefully Toni Storm will win on Saturday, and then they'll probably end their feud at Revolution. So there's that. But AEW was not good. The only good thing on it worth watching was the MJF Hangman Adam Page stuff. That was it. Other than that, quite missable. But it is what it is. What did you guys think of Dynamite? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.